Hello, hello, everyone. Magdalena Grace here. Back in my California office. Someone says, "Hey, are you excited to be home?" And I'm like, "Home?" I'm bouncing back now between California, Minnesota, sometimes Canada. So I'm like, home is where my heart is, where my soul's journey takes me. So I'm super excited to be more and more mobile. I will say this, the nice thing about my California office is my lighting is so much better. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, I'm Misty Magdalena Grace. I am the founder of the Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise podcast. This is not a podcast so much as it is a divination reading. You can learn more about my podcast at healthyandwealthyandwise.com, or simply go to magdalenagrace.com and learn more about me as an alchemist, a runes reader, a soul liberation guide, helping you wake up and remember who you truly are. For as within, so without. If you don't like what you see out here, guess what? You are the creator of your life, the co-creator with the divine within. And that's what divination is all about. And the runes are ancient wisdom tools to help you get to a place where you can wake up, where you can stir that intuition, intimacy, into me, I see, into it, so that you can make better, wiser decisions, making the unconscious conscious. If you see the show and you like it, please like, subscribe. We're trying to build a bigger community. I'm really close to 2,000 subscribers, so please hit the like button, notification bell if you want to be notified of future readings. I do readings pretty much every week. Today is a reading and ritual. I also have podcast guests. I've been taking a little bit of a break with that due to my travels, but I will be bringing in some guests here in the month of March. Happy March, everyone. At the time of this recording, we're getting ready for the big lunar eclipse, the Virgo blood moon. So at first I'm going to go through just kind of like a little bit of the astrology after I cleanse and clear the space. I've got my incense going. So if you see the smoke, that's what's going on. You can light a candle. I like to smudge myself and the space just before I do the reading. You can get into the ritual if you would like, and do not be driving. Make your journal handy, because my hope is to help you have a breakthrough or an awakening of something, even if it's subtle. It may stir something awake in your dreams tonight. It may help you get clarity and decision even while you're in the shower. As you're driving, all of a sudden, boom, an aha moment comes through because you took the time to slow down, smell the roses, in this case, take a look at the runes, and get some clarity. And so this is another big week. I feel like I'm sort of a broken record at this point. Every week seems to be that. You're like, Magdalena, you say that every week. This one is pivotal because it's the second eclipse this year. The second eclipse, we just had one 2 weeks ago, also a Tuesday. Tuesday, February 17th, was the solar eclipse in Aquarius. The Virgo full moon is a lunar. It's a blood moon. So there's even different places and spaces that you may be able to see it turn blood red. It's also the 3-3 portal on this full moon. So at the time of this recording, it's March 2nd. So you can totally do this ritual and this reading on the 2nd. The 3rd would be highly recommended because the full moon's in the middle of the night at like 3:33 a.m. in Pacific time, so 5 in Central, 6 Eastern, and then all around the world, it's mostly on March 3rd. And so the 3-3 portal is also an activation portal. So last month was the 2-2. This month we have the 3-3. Then there's the 4-4. Every month has another portal. Numerology and astrology are just merely symbols to help stir something inside of us. And now I'm not an astrologer. I'm not a numerologist. I'm a runes divination reader and a psychic intuitive. However, I love the astrology because it's what our ancestors played with. They didn't have Google. They didn't have the internet. Oh my gosh, I'm sometimes jealous. They didn't have smartphones, also known as dumb phones, right? They didn't have AI. Their AI was looking up at the stars and going with the tides, literally the moon, Luna. She helps orchestrate the tides of our oceans. Our water, literally, in our body is impacted by this full moon as a time of release. Lunar eclipse is about illumination, emotions, water, very watery because we're also in Pisces season. Mars is going into Pisces today, the 2nd. Martian energy is very intense energy, so there's a lot of predictions. I mean, we have the war in Iran going on. There's predictions that there's going to be more stuff happening in Minneapolis. This is all astrology, folks. I'm not like a prognosticator. This is stuff that I've learned through my astrology mentors and also the how I'm feeling. I just flew out of Minneapolis yesterday, and I can feel the anxiety. I could feel the heaviness, the density. When I landed in San Diego, it was pretty much gone, but the whole morning I just felt it. I was very emotional, very anxious. There was arrests going on in Minneapolis yesterday at the Whipple Center building, I think is what it's called. And so there's something stirring. And with this Virgo full moon, this is a time you can absolutely take some notes. I'm going to give a little bit more about the astrology, and then we'll do the reading and a bit of a ritual at the end. So you may want to watch this twice, especially if you're watching and coming in later. But basically, Virgo is the Virgin Mother. So this is Mother Mary energy, the only sign of the whole astrology zodiac that is the divine feminine, the priestess. Virgin isn't about not having sex. Virgin is purity, coming from a place of deep feminine wisdom, reverence, intuition, passion, love, sensuality. And that's when the Virgo sign is in its essence. The shadow of Virgo is overthinking, overcritical, overdoing, overconsuming, overgiving. The Virgo is the servant sign. So when you are like me, I'm a double Virgo. So, oh my gosh, do I know the shadows of this all too well? I over sacrificed sometimes, and I know this may offend some people, but I prostituted my energy to all people and all places and substances and things for years, almost 17 years, because I lost sight of myself. I wasn't trusting my intuition. Virgo is very intuitive, very priestess. It's like the high priestess card in the tarot. So it's coming from a place of discernment. When you're in healthy Virgo, you're discerning. You set boundaries. You say no as a complete sentence. You listen to the feminine wisdom. If you're a woman, O-W-O-M-B, you're really tuning into your sacral chakra, trusting that gut intuitive sense. And so with this runes reading today, I really want you to think about what area has been loudest for you in that Virgo nature: overdoing, over criticizing, overthinking, overgiving to a fault, over self-sacrificing yourself. So your cup is empty. What do you want to give up on this full moon? Another way to look at it is, how is it impacting your health, wealth, or relationships? So you don't have to pay attention to your sign for this so much as what is really loud in your life. So for me, I know as a double Virgo, even though I've done a lot of this work, what's been showing up for me is still that people pleasing, overgiving at times, overdoing, over delivering, right? I'm cutting that out. I'm coming to more of a place of self-respect, and that impulse, that craving, that urge to do, overgive, I'm going to let that shit go. So I'm coming back to self-respect and discernment at a deeper level, just when you think you've gone deep enough. But wait, there's more, right? And that's what this eclipse, this is the last Virgo full moon eclipse for 18 years. We had one back, and I believe it was like 07, 08. So we had a season. It's an 18-month season of Virgo also being in the South Node. And I'm not going to get into all of that, but we have a lot of intense release. Another thing about Virgo is gut health. It can also be connected to not only your digestion, but your liver, and I believe also your spleen, which carries a lot of anger. So a lot of times it can also be immune system, because gut health is connected to immunity and mental health. So if you've been feeling depression, if you had a tough time sleeping, a lot of that is operated by our gut and the neurotransmitters and the serotonin. Maybe you want to let go of some health issues. Maybe you want to actually put yourself first so that your health improves, right? Maybe you need to change environment. Maybe you need to move. There's a huge reason why I'm bouncing around between California and Minnesota is I need to change an environment. And boom, I set that as an intention, and the universe delivered. And here we are, eclipse season, and I'm eclipsing a toxic environment more and more and more to get to the other side. 6 months from now, what seeds you're planting now with the eclipse is going to show up really big in the next 3 to 6 months. So what is it that you want to let go of now? Since we're almost into spring, right? It's March. So whatever you let go of now with this Virgo full moon on March the 3rd, then you're opening yourself up to setting the seeds for the future, sowing the seeds so that you can have a bountiful harvest in the fall. So take a moment to ponder that. I'm going to give a few more seconds. What areas have been loudest? Health, wealth, relationships, career, maybe finance, could be relationships, circle, inner circle, intimate partner relationship. Maybe you just broke up with someone and you're wondering, I know two people that broke up with people last week. Actually, I made that 3 now that I think about it. And it all came just before the eclipse. This isn't a coincidence. I decided to get a divorce during an eclipse. I broke up with another relationship after that experience during an eclipse. So this is a time of cutting, severing, eclipsing, and letting go of that which no longer serves you. So now maybe jot down in your journal, what do I want to let go of with this full moon? Health, wealth, relationships, based again on that Virgo energy. So what you want to do is jot that down, but then let's take a couple of deep inhales and exhales. So go ahead and take a nice, actually close your eyes. Let me not get ahead of myself here. Close your eyes. Feet firmly planted on the floor. Again, you can't be driving while you're doing this. And we're going to inhale together on my command. You're going to inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Go ahead and inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the top. And then let it go, sigh it out. One more deep inhale. Inhale deeply. And exhale. A few more seconds of silence while I do one more shuffle, pondering what it is you need clarity on. In this Virgo full moon, calling upon the wisdom of Woden and Freya, and the wise and healed ancestors, speak to me and through me. Interesting. All right, 3 cards. All right, and I am going to pull a bonus card today from the Odin and 9 Realms Oracle. So what I want you to do is get comfy, eyes open by now, and thinking about your topic. Mind is clear. I'm going to show you the cards first. And then what I want you to do is just look at them, see what comes through. Thought, feeling, memory, emotion, idea. Take a look at this first one. Right, this one's been very present in my readings as of late. So this is interesting. It's Thurisaz. Thurisaz is about justice, and it's Thor's hammer. If you know Mjolnir, it's about breaking things down to build things back up. It's also known as a defense, almost like a shield, but a way to protect, and putting that, hammer, as a sign, like, don't fuck with me, kind of like thinking. And so this often does have to do with love relationships. So this, I'm going to first speak to that topic. And again, this can go in health, wealth, or relationships. But Thurisaz, if you think about the whole love story between Thor and I can't remember the name of the girl in the movie. I can't. There was a time where his justice, his job, his role was so important that he didn't have the ability, the capacity to also have, that love in his life. So maybe, just maybe, you have a passion that you're pursuing. Maybe, just maybe, you have a career. Like for me too, I've actually, sometimes painfully so, just been like really high standards in my relationships and defending myself like, no, I'm not going to accept mediocrity anymore. I'm not going to overgive and over-sacrifice, Virgo, for a love relationship ever again. My career, my finances, I'm defending them unless just the perfect divine masculine partner shows up. So that's my standards, and my hammer is like cutting anything and everything out of the way that is hindering my career and my relationships. So think about, where in your life are you cutting and hammering away to protect and defend. But also maybe, if you were in that category of you just broke up with a relationship, you broke up intuitively, you knew that this wasn't going to serve you. Bigger picture. It wasn't going to serve your purpose, your passion. So that's the Rasaz. Here's second card. Take a look. Take a deep inhale. Exhale and see what comes through for you. Thought, feeling, memory, emotion, or idea. Now this one's interesting. It's Tiwaz, and this full moon is on a Tuesday. So Tyr is the god of justice. It goes beautifully with Thurisaz. So we have Thor and we have Tyr. So with Tyr, Tiwaz, also what Tuesday was named after, is ultimately about protection also, and it's really about discipline. So Saturn just went into Aries. I know for me, I've been feeling this. I've been pulling this card too and recognizing that I've got to sharpen my mind, my body, and spirit for what's to come. This eclipse season is heavy, it's intense, it's cutting and severing. So you got to be disciplined in your mind, your body, your spirit. I've had way more boundaries, way more discipline in the past 2 to 3 weeks than I have had, and I still want to step up. So the only, like, the shadow and the warning with this card is it can also mean self-sacrifice to a fault. So maybe, just maybe, you haven't had your boundaries set strong. This is the week to look at all your boundaries and to really sit with, am I overgiving? Am I self-sacrificing too much? It's time to boundary up. Here's the third and final card. Take a look again, take a deep inhale. And an exhale, checking in with thought, feeling, memory, emotion, or idea. This one we had last week, which is cool because we're in a Mercury retrograde. I love how these cards work and communicate. This full moon is Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, and this is Woden's rune. So this is a week to communicate clearly, thoughtfully, not quickly. Don't force conversations. Receive, so meditate more. That was also last week's message, big time, big time. Meditate more and sit with an idea before speaking it. Really, even when you do share messages, I had to share some really big messages this week to people, including my ex, and I needed to really sit with and meditate and receive intuitive guidance to communicate carefully, safely, not quickly or arrogantly. And again, Virgo being the full moon, where do you need to speak? Where do you maybe need to not speak? And regardless of how you do it, are you being thoughtful? Are you receiving, good divine messages? Are you meditating? Are you praying? Whatever is your thing, it doesn't matter to me. I teach sacred practice, right relationship with yourself and your divine self, whatever that looks like. It could be yoga, meditation, breath work, time in nature, grounding practices. Virgo is all about grounding. So I would ground a ton this week. I think that's what I'm getting from this rune as well, is how are you grounding? Feet in the sand, feet in the dirt. If you're in a frozen tundra area, Epsom salt baths. How can you just make sure you're hydrated this week too? Hydration is key. Full moon, your body. If you're feeling a lot of anxiety, if you're feeling a lot of ungroundedness, get in the water. Drink a lot of water, because we are 90% water in our brains, 70% in our body. So if you can't think clearly, you can't speak clearly, you can't receive the messages. So getting good, proper rest. This is a week to slow down if you can and be open to receive. So let me do the clarifying card, then I'll do a quick summary, and then we'll do a ritual. I'm going to tone so you can meditate. And always on the full moon, new moon is when I add the bonus ritual. And then we'll close with an embodied action. Aha, okay. So today I pulled the bonus card. This is a goddess, Idun. Take a look at the card and then I'll do the reading for you. This is interesting. If you can't see it, it's a goddess and there's apples. So it makes me think of the harvest. There's also a crow and it looks like, I'm not sure, it looks like a full moon, but let me read to you what the card says. It says inner beauty. Idun is the goddess and guardian of sacred apples given to her by the giant Thjazi. These apples provide the gods with eternal life. Without them, they become old and gray, showing that they are mortal. More importantly, Idun holds the key to eternal life in the Aesir, which again is all about the Viking Germanic pantheon of gods and goddesses in that Norse mythology. By drawing this card, Idun indicates that you have the blessing of good health and great inner beauty, which reminds me of the Virgo, the Virgin priestess. She also reminds you that to maintain good health and beauty, you must be diligent in self-care, not only on physical, but also on a spiritual and emotional level. So what I'm getting from this, in summary, and I'm going to show you the runes all together now, all at once. You can draw them. I'm going to tone them. You can sing along with me as I chant or tone. So, and I actually have them in the reverse order here. So we have Horizons is first. Horizons. Draw it out if you'd like. Then we have Tiwas. And last but not least, Ansus. So even as you draw them, as you tone them, different messages may come through. And Idun, very, very much like the Virgo priestess, the Virgin, this is all about healthy boundaries, slowing down, grounding, self-care, having that hammer, thinking of Thor for protection and getting rid of that which no longer serves, which is perfect. Just having that deep reverence, especially what I'm getting is between Tuesday and Thursday are going to be the biggest days of destruction. Thor's hammer is about the self-defense destruction, breaking down and severing and getting rid of. I know quite a few people, friends and clients, myself included, did some major detox last week. Virgo is about detox, cleansing, gut health. So you could even consider that this week if it's not too late and it's something in your purview, even just drinking more water. Self-care. Self-love is your superpower during eclipse season. I mean, it always is, but especially now. So now what I want you to do is, if you're still with me, also, I just want to acknowledge you. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment below. I always do like to acknowledge people. If you comment city and state where you're tuning in from or what you get out of this reading, I love to read my comments and I love to respond. Okay, so let's go ahead and close our eyes. I'm going to tone just for 2 to 3 minutes, just really short. It doesn't take long to receive downloads if you're really in tune, and that's part of this process is to help you get more in tune with your intuition and your divine self within, okay? So close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. And listen and see what comes through. with me if you would like. Azus. Oresas. Ivas. Azus. Oresas. Tivas. Azus. Taking a few moments, just breathing that into your central nervous system. Hopefully eyes are still closed. Put your left hand on your heart if you'd like to play along, no worries either way. Then take a nice deep inhale. Inhale deep through the nose. And sigh it out through the mouth. Going to close shortly, but just really tuning in with what came through, if anything. Otherwise, sit in silence after I close this. Pondering the reading, self-reflection, contemplation. It's one thing to listen to a reading, but to self-reflect and contemplate after is where the messages lie, and the downloads can come later. Dreams, shower within the next 24 to 48 hours. Re-listen to this a second time. Set an intention. Maybe if you joined us late, welcome. Always love to see followers. If you like this and have any desire to see future readings, please hit the like button. I'm getting really close to 2,000 subscribers. Would love your support. Would love to be a part of this growing community. If you have questions, if something came through, please comment below and I will respond to you, usually within a couple of days, depending. And just take care of yourself. The reading was very clear. Self-care, slow down, ground, defend what is sacred to you, and let go that which may be getting in the way on this full moon. May this 3-3 portal be blessed for you. May you enjoy whatever it is that you're letting go and cry it out, shout it out, let it go, let it flow. And if you desire a one-on-one reading, you can always sign up for that at magdalenagrace.com. And if you have questions and you don't feel like commenting below, you want something more private, email me at info@magdalenagrace.com. I hope that whatever seeds you plant after this full moon, that you receive it a 10,000-fold, that you believe in it, that you go for it with courage, strength, conviction, and clarity after whatever gets cleared and eclipsed out of your life. Until next time, here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best relationships by trusting that best wisdom within. Bye-bye for now.
Subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Hire Magdalena for a runes reading or healing session by emailing support@microdosingforhealth.com.